associated with them. So we just count it as boss dead. Or rather, the end boss of that dungeon to be dead.
Text I can understand.
I know. So the plot of this game, apparently our father is evil, and also Ganon is our father somehow. Okay, I'm not going to question it, but we need to go rescue somebody from the castle, apparently. And then we have a title drop because, of course. So we're going to grab the lamp here because we need it to do some stuff.
Ronald McDonald.
So, this room, you just grab some magic, light some torches, and you can get yourself a chest with a key.
This is... I don't think you ever explained what no EG means. I think that guard just EG'd.
Yeah, he fell under the floor. We also need arrows.
I think we have to restart.
No, it's okay. It's only a Link that can't be under the floor. Oh, I guess his name is OBCM.
So can OBCM be under the floor?
No.
Are those switches taking damage?
I'm not sure what's up with the switches. If you slash them, they flash like they're taking damage. I think it's just... I know they're technically enemies, the switches, so...
I mean, technically there's no such thing as enemies, there's just a bunch of sprites.
Fair enough.
Killable switches sounds like a good, ROM hack thing.
Like one-time use switches. You hit them and then they go away, so you can only use them once. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah. It'd be fun.
So this opening section is pretty straightforward. You just go through, get the bow, shoot some switches that take damage.
Yeah, Scudge like certain items, so you get them early. So, even though I know it's a hack, it's so weird to like think, oh man, this isn't what this room's supposed to look like. Oh boy, more rando memes.
Yeah, no, that tile, I believe it says something like, "Welcome to the castle, all who enter will die." Something like that.
Oh, it's true, I think he does die in this run. I think?
So here's the big key. It's English, so we have 2 text boxes, which makes it terrible.
And then we have the best item in the game.
The boing.
No, it's the Boeing.
No, Boeing is B-O-E-N-G. Or however you spell it.
747.
So a common theme is going to be this type of puzzle where you can hookshot through spikes, which is something that not a lot of people know about the vanilla game. Is you can just go through spikes like that.
I can't wait for me to make my hack. I'm gonna bring that to the extreme in some very mean puzzles. This is Secrets of the Past, Mr. Otaku 1229. It's the only hack that's good enough to get 2 runs in this marathon.
Yes.
It was already not like Cube. It's I plan to make it a very glitchy puzzle.
So here, this is just a little bomb jump to skip this peg puzzle over here.
Yeah, Scrubs like switches, but we get to skip a lot of them because no puzzle's foolproof. And what a fool Glan is.
So here's the prisoner. Her name is Consuela. She is apparently wearing a dress which is odd for some reason. Not gonna worry about it. Here's a heart.
I think that guard was bad because he's in a prison that doesn't even have a door.
I know, he's just trapped himself. So, it is possible to skip some of the keys. Sorry?
No, I was just gonna make a dumb joke.
Alright. It's possible to skip some of the keys in this escape section, but we are actually going to get all of them. Because we need that money in that door in that room right there, which is 90 rupees, because we need money to buy green potions, mostly.
Our leader, Christos. Yes, you can rescue someone against their will. Have you ever seen The Incredibles? Mr. Incredible saved the jumper, and the guy got really mad and sued him. No, YBA counts as a semi-EG.
That's also not true. It only counts in certain situations as semi-EG.
Semi-EG. This was found a little bit more recently.
Yeah, you can throw that bomb to delay the switches going back up, the pegs, and if you do that, you can make the whole thing in one trip.
Otherwise, it's just a really long puzzle. And if you like these switches, make sure to stick around for Parallel Worlds. Boy,
yep, Parallel Worlds is right after this.
It is? Yeah, you heard us right, Mentos Man. Parallel Worlds. The first bottle is going to be in Parallel Worlds. Brilio.
The snake room looks scary, but the easiest strat is to just walk straight down. Also, here is a snake. Sure, it's definitely not a worm, but sure it is. So,
do you even read? It's a mutated snake.
Anyway, this Moldorm has 8 HP instead of the...
That spike. That was hilarious.
Anyway, this...
Spike. When Moldorm hit him, he just shot him through the spike.
So here's Christos. Apparently he's an old man.
Yeah, from the great age of 2012. Why would you want more volume on me?
So the first thing we have to do after escape is we need to head up to the north of town to this cave over here, because in this cave is a key that lets us get into the first dungeon. And the way that works is this cave and that dungeon share the same ID, so whatever you do in here will actually correspond to the main actual dungeon. So since we are getting a key in this little cave area, it looks like a cave, but it's not actually. It's actually just part of the dungeon. So we get the key, and then that transfers over to the main dungeon itself.
People are saying you're really loud. Maybe you should
Really?
whisper. I'll be honest, I'm mostly just here for the West Samaria.
Yeah, that sounds about right. There will be a West Samaria in probably about 25 minutes. So here we have the first dungeon. It doesn't really have a name, so we just call it the village dungeon because it's in the village. So the intended route through this dungeon is to go to the left first, get a key after wandering through some rooms. Sorry, to the left in that room where you hookshotted through the spike. Get a key, go back, get the Pegasus boots, and then come back, go down this right side, and get the hammer. But we can do a little trick in the next room over to skip that. Which is just a simple bomb jump.
I wonder if you even need that bomb jump. I bet there's a way to, like, it might be TAS only, but I bet there's a way to, like, just clip through the rail.
Maybe. Anyway, here's Lenmolus. Most of the dungeons in Secrets of the Past have two bosses. Some of them only have one. But all the pendant dungeons have two bosses.
This is a common theme in every hack, unfortunately. Just putting landmo in a room. But luckily, that one drops a heart, which means he shouldn't respawn.
None of the bosses respawn.
Okay, good. Because Scudge could have been mean and made it so they do respawn.
He could have. Anyway, we've got the hammer now. So, we also have a key from that side, so we can take the key, use it on this door, and do this little puzzle here. And here is everybody's favorite item, the Pegasus boots.
We already had the hook shot.
So now we come over here and kill this unassuming enemy to get the big key. And then we slam our face into some spikes.
Oh no, he died.
So this dungeon kind of has a midpoint system, where you saw after Landmolus, he used the hammer to go through some moles and get some teleporters, so you can actually go right back to this point where the big key door is. So yeah, that is kind of a sequence break. You're supposed to get the Pegasus boots first so that you can bonk across the gap before Landmolus, but we can just bomb jump it pretty easily. So we're gonna solve that little hookshot and boots puzzle to spawn this chest, open it up, and by opening the chest, that causes it to stay opened rather than well, yes, it causes the chest to be open when you open the chest. But what it more importantly does is it leaves the chest there rather than causing it to go away, which if you did not open the chest, it would just go away. So now we can use it as a hookshot point.
You probably clip through those spikes.
No, you actually can't clip through those spikes. You can clip through the spikes on, I believe, the left side, but Scooge knew this, and therefore designed all the puzzles so that you can't clip through any of the spikes.
You sure? I feel like if you, took bomb damage and held up left. Though maybe that only works horizontally.
Like, Scooge made this. I'm pretty sure he knows how to clip through spikes in general, and therefore would ensure that other people cannot clip through spikes.
Oh, my hack is definitely going to have spike clipping. They traded places as part of a dare.
So we have to pretty much do this dungeon mostly as intended. We can't really skip big parts of it. The only sequence break that we can really do is just getting hammer before boots, which saves some time, but not really that much compared to some of the other stuff we'll be doing.
I think there's something you could do with that switch and a bomb. Gotta be. I'm too lazy to figure it out, though.
Are you designing a hack right now?
No, I just want to break this one.
In that key door in the top left corner is the big chest, and inside the big chest is the bug net, which we don't need because it's the bug net. Also, yes, you are supposed to push the statue, and it traps the spike.
Well, obviously he wanted a better challenge.
So because you get the bug net in this dungeon, you're supposed to use it on the ferry. But we just grabbed the ferry. But how else are you going to defeat Aga? There's no Agadim in this hack. Sorry.
Green Helmosaur. We don't have the Samaria yet, so we don't really have the more fun glitches.
So the bosses in this game are actually modified. Their damage tables are changed to allow the fighter's sword to deal damage to them because you don't get a sword upgrade for a while. So if you're not, if you aren't really precise with your hammer hits there, you can actually poke Helmosaur instead, and that will deal less damage. So I think that's what happened there. When it appeared that he had hit him hit Helmasaur 4 times with the hammer but was still alive, it's because of the pokes. Alright, so we got the first dungeon out of the way. So in this game, there are 3, the medallions, Bombos, Ether, and Quake, are all hidden in really weird locations, such as hammering this table to get Bombos. I don't know.
That is parallel worlds level stuff. Gross.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is that none of them are required. You don't need any of them whatsoever. They're kind of Easter eggs, I think. But Bombos is actually very useful because it acts as a replacement for the Fire Rod to melt things. So here we're going to see the first major glitches. I'm going to clip out of bounds, run through a green void.
Yeah, this is some of Scudge's humor.
And then a field of infinite cacti.
The black void.
Those are real cacti, by the way. You can damage yourself on them.
And then intentionally left in the Hera clip stuff.
Yeah, so this is Tower of Hera. This is actually supposed to be the last place that you go. So you're not supposed to get the flute until you're pretty much done with the game. And then you can use it to travel around the game after you finished it. But we can clip over here and finish it, get the flute much faster, which saves a lot of time in just overworld movement in general.
I like this puzzle. I wish I thought of it. If you take that, and you're just stealing from Scudge, or probably someone else. Speaking of Scudge, 5. I think that's some Hebrew letter.
I don't know Hebrew.
V. L. But backwards.
So 5 Hebrew, V backwards L.
Yes.
Alright. I like it. Also, those are the silver arrows, which are pretty strong.
I forget, was there a point to that?
To fluting to 2?
Yeah.
No, miss flute. You went to flute to 3, actually.
I remember there was some dumb flute stuff that he found. I don't know if it's important.
Anyway, so we're gonna jump into this cave and dash next to this hole, and that arms a glitch called Boots Water Walk. So now, if you jump off a ledge going north to south, you will walk on the water, which is important because the gloves, the flippers are locked behind glove upgrade, and we don't want to get the first glove right now because that would be slow.
How slow?
Right here actually is the cave that has flippers in it, but we're gonna ignore that entirely.
Oh.
Instead, we're gonna come over to this potion shop and very carefully buy a green potion. If you move left or right in the underworld, that will disarm your water walk, so you need to be very careful when you are buying this potion here.
Looks like we got some banter between the 2 runners of this game.
So now, here's this ledge, we're gonna jump off of it, and bam. Now we are walking on the water, we can go in this whirlpool. And that brings us up to the kind of ice palace replacement. And this is why we needed to get Bombos. Because usually you're only supposed to come here after you get the Fire Rod. But the Fire Rod is buried deep inside the second pendant dungeon. It's behind a lot of stuff, most notably behind the flippers. We don't want to get the flippers because they're locked by gloves, and gloves would be really slow to get right now. So instead, we are going to come over here and get the Titan's Mitts out of the ice dungeon.
I can't believe Glan isn't even trying to find ways right now to use the new ice spin tech. Can you believe that?
It's outrageous. Anyway, yeah, we can't fake Flipper because this is the US version, which was almost certainly intentionally picked for that reason.
No. It was...
Also because the US version is easier to hack.
No, it's not easier to hack, it's just... It's the only thing that Hyrule Magic works with.
Yeah, because Hyrule Magic is a very good program.
I mean, it's technically a little easier to hack because the disassembly is for US 1.2, I think. So you don't have to, like, make sure all the values are the same.
I don't know anything about hacking this game.
Darby says it's
honestly.
easier to hack, so he's just... I have no reason to doubt him.
So the layout of the Ice Palace clone is basically get a key, fall down, open the door, fall down the hole, and then continue. So actually, if you die in this dungeon, it really is just a matter of falling down a bunch of holes to get back to where you were. However, we will not die in this dungeon.
Oh. We died in that one dungeon. Why can't we die here?
Because that would be slow. This is a ROM hack of A Link to the Past. It is called Secrets of the Past, made by Super Scooge.
Scudge.
Scudge.
Yes, Scudge.
So we're about to come up on another glitch here. We're gonna grab this green potion and we're gonna do a glitch in this door called the YBA.
Hooray, we did it.
So that causes some interesting camera shenanigans.
Yeah.
And that actually causes Cold Stare to be kinda off screen partially, and so the game counts him as dead. But the collision from the shell is still there, so we have to use bombos to melt the shell so we can go through the door, open this chest, which is the Titan's Mitts.
Hooray. Now we exit and fix everything. And now the underworld's back to normal.
So we are going to go get another potion, I believe, because potions are good.
Well, they must be. Do you see how many he drank in his earlier run? Crazy Matt, I'm sorry to say that there are much better glitches in this run. Like,
Yeah.
the West Samaria.
Alright, hold on. We don't even have the item we need for that yet. But we are actually about to go get it.
I like these glitches, but there's some objectively better glitches.
So this dungeon is, this one is the only one that has a name, I believe. It's called Brightwater Palace. And it's kind of a Turtle Rock-based dungeon. You got these little question mark rails, you have the rollers, you have the chain chomps, you got the pokies, everything that makes Turtle Rock terrible.
Like skulls and shooters and anti-fairies all in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll notice, the pot disappeared, and that's because the graphic sheet that Bombus is on is the same one as the pot, so it just, overtakes it. It's just like, go away. No, but there will be a ROM hack of BS Zelda later.
Spikes. They're apparently hard to run your face into.
I mean, the thing is, if you get too close to spikes, they hit you. A fun fact that I learned from Zarby, you can't have as many push blocks in a room as you want. I think the limit's 4.
What? There were just 5 right there.
And I think it must... Zarby can correct me if it was changed, but I do remember... I think it was like 8 or something?
Anyway, we got your favorite item.
No, we already had the hookshot.
Okay. The item that lets us do your favorite glitch.
But you don't... All you need is boots for that. The prayer.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so here's a YBA. That's not a YBA. Just kidding. So I don't know what the backup is here, so we're gonna find out. Okay, we will get to... Okay, yeah, this is the backup. The backup is go get the big key. That YBA would usually skip most of the dungeon. Like, we'd actually be done after this.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing, because this honestly is a pretty cool puzzle.
Oh, this is a great puzzle. This is one of the best puzzles in the game. This, the Samaria moving platforms. We do get to show this little bomb jump here, though.
Ruins it with a bomb jump. I guess Glan just doesn't appreciate how hard Scudge worked on this.
Did he hit the switch? I didn't hear the little jingle.
I didn't either, but, this game just does that.
Yeah, it might literally just be it decided to not play the audio.
The one thing that just really hurts hacks with cool puzzles like this is how much menuing there is.
Yeah, the menu from Samaria to Hookshot is done a lot.
Oh, I guess he didn't hit the switch.
Oh, and he has to backtrack now too, because if he falls in the pit, he will he'll take a heart of damage and rip. So we're gonna see bonus content that we wouldn't usually see because we would have gotten the YBA.
And now he dies, oh no.
Oh, so instead we get to see this this thing, which would otherwise be skipped. So we can do a North Samaria in this door here. It's not a West Samaria, unfortunately. But this North Samaria, I don't know. But this West Samaria takes us straight to the big chest, which gets us the magic cape. And so then we pass through the cape, pass through the bumper to reset the dungeon because all the transitions are broken. Yeah, this is the old route, before the YBA.
Which I think is pretty recent.
Oh, yeah. You still need a potion because you need to YBA past some torches that you would to skip Fire Rod. That's inconvenient. Okay, I guess we have to go get money and buy a potion.
There's a tree pool at 2, isn't there?
I don't know about tree poles for this.
I don't know. I'm asking Glan. He can't hear us.
Oh, blue mail. Yeah, there's money in the blue mail hole. Yeah, okay, I remember that. Okay, so we're gonna improvise route backups.
Wow, that's not fair. My task segment was supposed to be the only improvisation here. Okay, I'm gonna give Elm points for that one.
That is a good one. All right, so we're gonna see blue mail. Okay, so we got some money. We got some money. And we also got blue mail. Now we can have a banana hat.
Me too, Bally Aim. Yeah, you can't skip this intro in English. I hate it. Oh, chat's requesting that you post the IPS patch again.
All right, I will get it. Actually, I have it. Yeah, you can skip it if you press start on like the first couple of frames, I think. But after that, it doesn't work. You really have to mash start, or I guess time it. But I really have no idea what the timing. Alright, we got a potion. We're going back into bright water. Alright, we can keep going now. Wait, can bedrocks die in this hack?
Yeah, but can they get frozen by the ice rod?
Alright, so attempt number 2.
Oh,
Alright, we got the YBA.
Scudge himself is here.
Whoa.
Hello, Scudge. I don't know if you've seen this, but oh man, this is gonna get so destroyed.
Yeah, so okay, that YBA that we do basically just skips us to the end of the dungeon. The secondary boss of this dungeon is blind. We just skip that. Normally that would skip the magic cape. Skips the big key, skips a lot of stuff.
I can't wait for Scudge to see the West Samaria because it's so good. It really is. Not just because it's the West Samaria, it just destroys that dungeon.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Also, that was Vitreous.
Was. And yeah, that is a very cool use of the trap switches.
Alright, FSG, you can do low percent Secrets of the Past if you want.
Here is the West Samaria.
Yes. Alright, so you touch this door.
Hitting that door.
Alright, I'll let you explain. I'll let you explain it.
Hitting that door sets a variable. It's very important. It sets it to 0. It also marks that door as the last door interacted with. When he does this West Samaria, what it's going to do is it's going to try to increment the game mode twice with the super tile value. It's going to do 2 plus 2, which sets it to 4, which is the value used for unlocking key doors. And based on that, it's just going to It opens that key door because he interacted with it.
Okay, so what I got out of that is that 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Yes. That's all you need to know. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4.
So the boss of this dungeon, the desert dungeon, is supposed to be Armos, but we just kind of blew him up with silver arrows. So that counts as that dungeon finished.
I'm glad you liked it, Scudge.
So now we're going to go to the Waterfall dungeon. By lining up precisely here, we can just walk down and then be in the waterfall. And now we're in the dungeon. Also, this dungeon gets destroyed too.
Yeah, once we get some area, most of the dungeons are destroyed very badly.
So, here all we do is use Samaria to hit that switch from over here. Usually you're supposed to use the red boomerang to hit that switch. But we don't want that, so we just kind of use a Samaria punt. Hit the switch from below. There is a way to do it without Samaria. I don't remember exactly how, it's pretty precise. Alright, so now we're going to clip into this wall, do a downwards teleport. That brings us over here to this hole, which conveniently leads us here.
He did that on purpose.
I'm sure, yeah. So here's Argus. And Argus has been modified significantly. The boss just stays in place, and when he does the circle attack, like shooting out these puffs, you have to kill the puffs one at a time.
What if you hook more than one?
Good luck.
You could use Samaria.
You could use Samaria.
I think it would, like, get destroyed after, like, 2 hits. Well, we have plenty more runs to comment on Underworld boot clips.
It gets pretty hard to hit the puffs in the last couple of rounds because they're moving reasonably fast. Also, yes, this is why you get the red shield, because this Medusa is irritating you throughout the entire fight if you don't have it.
He made Argus easy to get to, but then he did this.
Usually Argus is hard to get to, but an easy boss, but now Argus is easy to get to, but a really hard boss. Oh.
At least it's, easy to get to.
Yeah.
Everyone should type curfew, Scudge.
Honestly, I would say Argus is probably the hardest boss in this hack, just because of all the extensive changes that have been made.
I would too. So mean. Yeah, but better swords and bottles are slow.
I actually never played. I never got the upgraded sword when I played because I forgot about it. So I just kind of did the whole thing with fighter sword. Yes, this run will get the Master Sword. I'll just call it the Master Sword because that's what it's called in game.
The Master Sword?
The Underworld
Master Sword.
Yeah, no, it's the Master Sword. Also, yes, the Underworld boot clips are possible. I don't really know how Glan does it, but I haven't been able to replicate it. But it's doable.
They're just dash buffers instead of sword buffers.
Yeah, but I'm bad, so I can't do it.
Me too.
Would low percent SRTP require a sword? I don't think so. Well, you can't get Fire Rod without flippers. And you would need a sword to use bombos. Also, we are out of arrows, which is unfortunate because the silvers would one-shot Argus. Uh-oh.
I blame Scudge.
Hopefully there are arrows somewhere. Do you know if there are arrows in the berry prize pack?
Wait, no. Aren't tree poles arrows?
Nah, tree poles are gonna be rubies.
No, I think they're arrows. That's what I remembered wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Arrows.
That's cool.
Wow, I can't believe FSG is implying that Glan is a child. You know Glan is a whole day older than me? Yeah, Glan practice. This Argus is just...
Yeah, Argus is the hardest boss in this game, probably. Like, Ganon is really not that hard because he is, you have sword upgrade for him, but for this guy, you don't have a sword upgrade, so you're just going at him with fighter sword slashes.
It's not the same as sword buffering. It's dash buffering. You have to press them on the same frame. I guess technically it would... No, it wouldn't work. You have to press them on the same frame. Why would you bomb Argus? That's rude.
I wonder if you can use bombs for this part with the puffs.
The Chinese bootleg is a NES port important air quotes version of this game. And you can't really describe it, you just have to see it.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Alright, we were ahead before on the schedule, so this is good.
I already said that.
We're not... What?
I agree with Chex. Always disagree with Taylor.
There are hearts in... Okay. I literally did not know whether he was getting the hearts.
I don't know about the Chinese bootleg of Chrono Trigger, but no, the Chinese bootleg of this game is a sight to behold.
If you like bootlegs, you should also play Vietnamese Crystal.
Is that the one where it's a platformer?
It's the bootleg of the Pokemon game of Pokemon Crystal.
Oh, there's like some bad bootleg that's like actually a platformer.
Interesting.
The thing is, I know about it because there's a task of it. Like someone's like, "Oh my god, this is so great! I need to task it." I actually had a bootleg Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. It was like the bootlegginess was just that it had like 5 languages to choose from. And also it had a very, very, very bad SRAM battery, and it would constantly lose it. Yeah, take that, Argus.
Alright.
Well, I'd better not be seeing talk of ROM sharing. That's illegal. My phone is right here in my hands. I will call the cops.
Okay. So that's Argus. Now we're going to go get the Master Sword.
The Master Sword.
Just kidding, it's actually the Tempered Sword.
The Master Sword is upgraded.
You can temper your sword. Well, they say it's tempered, and they call it the Tempered Sword, but it's actually the Master Sword, in terms of the damage values. And so then you pull the pedestal and you get the Master Sword, which is actually the Tempered Sword.
In BS Zelda, I think the Master Sword's actually yellow.
So here's Ganon. His arena is different, but the fight is still pretty much exactly the same.
This isn't Ganon, this is your dad.
Also, yes, Ganon is your dad for some reason.
But I don't think I'm allowed to explain how he's your dad. No, you're right. Why Link is a male, and there should only ever be one Gerudo male every 100 years. So, how can Ganon be your dad? Are you not a true Gerudo?
So, again, with the modified damage values, you can actually use Samaria to damage Ganon, since all bosses are rendered vulnerable to level 1 damage, and Somalia deals level 1 damage. And of course, you can also deal damage with beams.
It's true, I saw him do that.
What? You just stunned him with the torch down.
I don't know. How do you do that?
Huh. Alright. So that is GG.
Oh, we have to make sure to read this. What's the essence of the Triforce?
I played no part in this game, but I'm here to wrap up the story.
Father and uncles were partnering in crime. Link is just a pawn. And Christos is fleeing the country.
He already lives on an island, though.
Yeah, but does he live on the Koho-Lint Island?
You should probably put the Master Sword back before the authorities notice it's missing.
Oh, all the cops. Oh, no, I already called the cops on those ROM shares. There's like no police left. They're all going after those guys.
Oh man.
They're gonna get busted.
Oh. Is that a sequel hook? You seek vengeance on those who wronged you?
Yeah, that would be a great sequel. People who steal ROMs. Why would anyone do that?
What? Chris isn't even watching the Objectively Better categories marathon? You should watch. It would be objectively better to watch than not to.
We should go insult him. He got word from the runner. He said, "Wow, that run was terrible. I hope they fire the guy who let him join.
There is no boss rush in this marathon, sadly, even though boss rush is a really cool hack. Christos Osen. There was not a single reference to tea though, so I don't think it was Chris who did it. Oh, we got the quest history. We can see how many times there were games.
See how many times he died in Swamp Palace.
So Eastern Palace is the village dungeon. Desert Palace, actually, which one is Desert Palace?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't die at all at Swamp.
I guess Desert Palace would be Swamp, and Mountain Tower would be Brightwater. I'm not really sure how this is laid out, because those are the ones that died. Yep, up next. Up next is Parallel Worlds, run by FSG, with, I believe, Esder on commentary. Oh, here he is.
Hey, hello.
I guess we have to go, huh? You don't want us here?
Yeah.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'll get out of your face. Actually, I'll be back to bother you later, in the middle of the night. Yeah, this hack actually is getting 2 runs during this marathon. The first one is now, it's no EG all dungeons. The second one will be in about 8 hours, and it will be any % no major glitches, run by this guy.
This guy.
Alright, so I'm out. Have a fun time with a terrible hack.
Alright, so, hello. My name is Ajder. This is a Parallel Worlds any %, it's actually any % NMG, run by FSG. This hack is pretty notorious. If you've heard of any Link to the Past hack, it's probably this one. It's a ton of graphical workings. It's just very, very aesthetically well made. But the dungeons, as you'll see, are a bit of a hair-pulling experience. So it looks like the estimate for this time slot is about 1 hour 40, which should give a decent buffer for things going wrong. Things probably will go wrong, but we'll see. But yeah, so this is a full-size hack. It has It's got 3 light world dungeons. Oh, it might be 130. There might be just like extra buffer time with the setup. But anyways, yeah. It's got 3 Light World dungeons, 7 Dark World dungeons, an Aga Tower and Ganon Tower kind of thing. But in this run, we actually don't have to beat all of the dungeons. A lot of them turn out to be optional without glitching. Obtuse is definitely a good word for this. But yeah, so we'll actually... The 3 pendants are actually... they've been changed into the spiritual stones from Ocarina of Time. The 7 crystals still exist, but the function of the crystals is solely to... they're solely to... Well, they do 2 things each. One is, each crystal reduces the amount of silver arrows that it takes to defeat Ganon. The other thing the crystals do is each of them gives you a hint that you'll need to figure out how to climb Parallel Tower, which is the final dungeon. But we don't actually need any of those things. The funny thing about the crystals reducing the amount of silver arrows that you need for the Ganon fight is they actually don't reduce the amount of spins you need when you're doing silverless. So the crystals literally don't matter. And out of the 3 spiritual stones, we're actually only going to be getting 1 of them. You also notice we have kind of an interesting file name. I'll get into that in a little bit, but the file name is very important for the run.